Last night's Wrestle Dream was held in honor of Antonio Inoki, who died 1 year ago. The Japanese legend's legacy has been influential on countless stars for decades, so a lot of wrestlers who idolized him were looking forward to paying tribute last night. The card for the pay-per-view was stacked, but not without issues. A couple of weeks ago at Dynamite Grand Slam, Adam Cole suffered an ankle injury that prevented him from competing on the show. However, the long-awaited dream match between Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. finally became a reality. Let's take a look at everything that happened at the first ever Wrestle Dream. Excuse me. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamio.com. Today, I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats as always. But special show tonight, per good old MF Michael Fletcher. We have agreed that tonight we will be reviewing the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view of AEW and Monday Night Raw. Therefore, there will be no Tony's Take tonight. It'll be back next week. So with that being said, gentlemen, let's dive on in. AEW Wrestle Dream last night from the Climate Pledge Arena, Seattle, Washington, the home of the NHL Seattle Kraken. And all I can say was this show was indeed cracking. Started off with the pre-show. A 0 hour, just to acknowledge them. We're not going to really get into it unless you guys want to. 8-person mixed tag team match. Keith Lee, Satoshi Kojima, Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena, and Billy Starks went up against Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez. Babyface team wins the match 5 minutes and 45 seconds. This is an MF special, this next match. A Be a Man fight. Claudio Castagnoli squaring off against Josh Barnett. You may remember Josh Barnett. He was the color guy for Jim Ross when they did the English commentary for New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV some time ago. Claudio Castagnoli wins the match 8 minutes 15 seconds. And then the third and final pre-show match, Nick Wayne squaring off against Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus wins the match 4 minutes 55 seconds. Oh, my apologies. There was one other match. AEW Trios Championships on the line. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn against TMDK, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito. Of course, the Acclaimed successfully defend the titles 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So with all that being said, gentlemen, let's now dive into the main card of AEW Wrestle Dream. We started it off with the 2-on-1 handicap match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. The champion, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, defending on behalf of himself and Adam Cole. They went up against the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. I apologize for that. Okay, I think I stopped it. Okay. There are pop-ups on this thing. I do apologize for that. Winner of the match, 9 minutes, 40 seconds. And still, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, winning the match all by himself. He wins it in 9:40. Give it about 3.25 stars, I guess. This match was pure sports entertainment. If you want a technical showcase, Danielson and Sabre will give that to you. If you wanted laughs, this match was for you. We're not going to go into full detail on this, so I'm just going to stop it there. 3.25. That's the best I can give it. So good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. MJF successfully defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Righteous all by himself. No Adam Cole, no problem for MJF as he defeats the Righteous 9:40. He and Adam Cole still, for now, Ring of Honor Tag Champs.
Yeah, and that was a remarkable victory for MJF. I mean, to do what he did under those circumstances, not dealing, having to deal that his partner or his partner is dealing with an injury right now and is not medically cleared to wrestle, and he goes out thrown into the fire and proved not only why he is the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, but also the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. To do that under those circumstances, and that's an incredible feat. Like him or not, and I know there's a few guys in this room that does not like MJF, but you gotta respect the man. What he had to go through, especially last night, under those circumstances, everybody had the Righteous walking out, the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman was like, the heck with this, I'm doing it. He did it. He did the impossible. He pulled it off. Good for him. 3 stars. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, people thought that MJF was crazy to basically do this by himself against this team, but he somehow was successful. I mean, look, I don't like the guy, I never will, but you gotta respect MJF. I mean, for him to be able to successfully defend the title by himself, you gotta respect that without a shadow of a doubt. So, three, 3.25 is my rating as well. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next match, Florio.
All right, Bullock, will do. Okay, here's an MF special. And MF, it's only fitting you're starting off this match because this is a match that I know you had a very vested interest in. Title for title. Well, actually, for 2 titles. In the immortal words of myself and Michael Bullock's favorite ring announcer, Chet Kopic, not 1, but 2 championships on the line in this match. Eddie Kingston defending both the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship against Katsuyori Shibata, winner of the match in an even 11 minutes, and still the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion and New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, the Mad King Eddie Kingston. MF special, if there ever was one, be a man fight. It's only fitting you started off. Eddie Kingston, still a double champ.
Yeah, it's still double champion. Look, I knew Eddie was not losing these belts. Now, I mean, for Shibata, it was a great performance, very good matchup, but he just didn't have enough for Eddie Kingston. Eddie pushed him to the limit, and then once it got into the deeper waters, Eddie just found that second gear and ended it. So, yeah, look, everybody was wondering, is it possible? But I kind of felt like especially with the Ring of Honor title on the line, that Eddie wasn't going to lose it. He just recently won the title, everything else. Now, if it was only just for the IWGP Strong Openweight, now I would have probably gone the other way. I would have gone for Shibata to win it because Shibata would be the perfect guy to lead the Strong Openweight division. However, because the Ring of Honor title was on the line, that instantly made me believe that Eddie was walking out still the champion. So there's really nothing more to say. This is another, I would say about maybe 2.75 to 3. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, look, if this was only for that for the other title, I would have said Shibata as well. But basically, since both titles were on the line, especially the Ring of Honor World title, which Eddie Kingston just won, there was no way Eddie Kingston was losing both of those belts. So, yeah, but this was definitely a great match here. And, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. It was a 3-star match, so it's yours, Florio.
3.25, 3.5 for me. This match was built on mutual respect, but both men were also looking to leave the other battered and bruised when it was over. This bout was probably the biggest tribute to Inoki on the entire show because both men had made it clear how much they idolized him and patterned their style after his. even though this fight was hard hitting, they were also doing a great job following the rules to the letter. This was about earning the win, not just getting it. Both men fought hard, but Eddie Kingston was able to pick up the win. He and Shibata sat in the ring together after it was over and showed each other respect with a handshake and bow. And that's really all there was to say on that. So, very good match indeed. 3 1/4, 3.5 for me. Next up, TBS championship on the line. The champion, Kris Statlander, defending against Julia Hart with Brody King in her corner. Winner of the match in an even 9 minutes. And still the TBS champion, Kris Statlander. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, when you first heard that, when you first saw that Brody King was ringside, you're like thinking you don't like Kris Statlander's chances, but somehow she got it done, and but Julia Hart definitely gave her all that she can handle. But in the end, the champion stays the champion. So I'll give this about 2.5, maybe 2 3/4. So it's yours, Florio.
3 for me. Yep, just give me one moment here. I'm just looking for it. All right. This was definitely Julia Hart's best match to date and a great defense for the champion. And the champ had a significant size and power advantage, but Julia's aggression helped her even the playing field. Even with Brody King at ringside for support, Statlander was too much for her to overcome, especially after multiple tombstone pile drivers. It's a 3-star match, but I only have one bit of constructive criticism. The wrong person won. Julia Hart should have won this match. They were, like MF and I said the other night, we said it. I mean, MF, you even said it. They were grooming. It looked from our vantage point, it looked like they were grooming Julia Hart to be the next TBS champion. She had already lost to Statlander twice before, and now we thought third time was the charm. No, they put Statlander over. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have all the respect in the world for Kris Statlander. It is absolutely nothing personal. It's just that this should have been Julia Hart's moment. But other than that, fine match, solid match, 3 stars for me. So nothing more to say. MF, we said it the other night. You even said it. They were grooming. It looked like they were grooming Julia Hart to be the champion.
I guess not. I guess not. I mean, very unfortunate that that's the way that it went down. But then again, look, we can question the booking from AEW. That's like questioning the booking from WWE. We get what we get. It's either we like it or we don't. They don't care about our thoughts. They don't care about our opinions. So, I mean, we don't have a say in that. We can criticize them for it. We can say that was probably the wrong decision and the wrong call. They'll be like, all right, we hear you, but we ain't going to change what your sentiments about it. So it is what it is. It was still a fine match, but I am with Michael Bullock on this one. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. I thought it was a good matchup. Yes, I will give you that this was Julia Hart's best performance, and she was a worthy challenger. But at the end of the day, we saw how it played out. So I'm not mad over the outcome. Like we said, did the right person win? No. But I understand it. They're very high on Kris Statlander, especially after the injury and everything else. They really want to build her up, and they're building her to be a very good champion. She's taken on all comers up to this point, but we like to see that more. So more competition, more championship fights, more battles. That's going to make us want to see stats more and more and more. She's amazing. If you know Kris Statlander, she is one of the nicest people professionally, and to boot is an amazing, amazing performer. She's worthy of being the TBS champion, and the recognition and the love that she's getting is totally worth it. So yeah, Are we disappointed that this was the outcome? Yes. But at the end of the day, we get it. So there's really nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. And we move on to our next match. Fatal 4-way match to determine the number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Austin and Colton Gunn, versus the Lucha Bros, Ray Phoenix and Penta El Zero Miedo, and versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. Winners of the match, 12 minutes and 40 seconds, and the number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks win the match 12:40. Trying to find enough time to feature all 8 guys is never an easy task, unless the match has a lot of time. But all 4 teams did a good job pacing themselves while moving quickly from sequence to sequence. The 7 remaining men were, other than Ray Phoenix, of course, the 7 remaining, let me see this again. After a few minutes, Ray Phoenix disappeared from the bout, and the announcers referenced the doctors looking him over. The 7 remaining men worked their butts off to give the crowd as many near falls and high spots as possible, so the fans in attendance were popping left and right. But nonetheless, Young Bucks get it done. 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star. That's all that's the best I can give it. So not much more for me to say. MF, the Young Bucks, getting another shot. We'll get another shot at the AEW World Tag Team titles. FTR or Aussie Open next. We'll find out in a bit.
Yeah, I know it. I feel it. I sense it. There was probably a lot of people not happy to see that the Bucks got the shot. Look, again, this is one of those type of bookings that you can make a little bit of an argument for. Maybe this should have been a more worthier team that should have gotten it here at the end. But at the end of the day, that's how it plays out. But look, for what it's worth, it was a fine match. It was a hell of a fight. I really enjoyed it. But in my opinion, in one way, the right team won. So there's really nothing more to add there. It was a good outcome. It was a good match. Like I said, I would probably say 3 to 3.5 is my rating for the match. Nothing more to say. And Anthony, it's Michael Bullock, it's yours, I should say.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. And in my opinion, I also think the right team went over. I know there's going to be some people who will disagree with us and say, no, the wrong team went over. It should have been. Well, look, when Ray Phoenix he got hurt, I figured there was no way the Lucha Bros were going over. I was thinking it could have been, Hook and Orange Cassidy, but other than that, yeah, to me, the right team went over. So 3.5 stars. Let's move on to the next match.
And good old MF Michael Fletcher will lead off on that next match. And all right. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in his corner, squaring off against Hangman Adam Page. Swerve Strickland wins the match 20 minutes and 15 seconds. MF, I would have to say, other than when he was one half of the World Tag Team Champions with Keith Lee, singles-wise, how can this not be the biggest win of his career so far?
Biggest win of his career, 3 stars. And not only that, you knocked off a former AEW World Champion. There is no way that this should have happened. That's a big feather in the cap for Swerve Strickland. That's going to really boost his stock in AEW. Who knows? That might just put him in line for maybe a TNT title shot down the line. I don't know. Maybe outside shot of the AEW World title. I don't think AEW World title is in the future, but TNT title, hell, if you really want to, you could push him for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title shot against Eddie Kingston. I feel like that would be the right move, the perfect decision. but unbelievable moment for him. A big win, no doubt about it. Deserving of the moment. Like I said, it was a 3-star victory, so nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Time of the fall, 20 minutes and 15 seconds, oh, by the way.
Yeah, Fletch giving it 3 stars. That you really underscored this one, Fletch.
Agreed.
Way underscored it. To me, this was a 4-star match. I mean, this was unbelievable. The biggest win of Swerve Strickland's career in AEW. I mean, when you beat someone the caliber of Adam Hangman Page, that's what I call making a statement there. I mean, maybe a Ring of Honor world title could be in the future for him. I mean, I don't think the AEW world title is there for now. Maybe somewhere down the line, but for right now, a big win for him. 4 stars is my rating, so it's yours, Florio.
Well, Bullock, I'll be honest. You underscored it too, but not as badly as MF did. 4.25 to 4.5. This was one of the fights of the night for sure. All right. This didn't have a title on the line, so it was all about pride. This was the closest thing on the card to a pure grudge match. The tension was palpable, and both men did a great job selling the animosity they feel toward each other. The crowd was vocal throughout as it cheered, jeered, and chanted for whatever was going on at the moment. The longer the match went, the more you could feel the tide shift in Swerve's favor, and the crowd even seemed to be turning on Hangman and getting behind Swerve, but then again, it was a hometown thing. These are two guys who both have a reputation for being able to put on great matches, so a lot of people came into this with high expectations. Luckily, both men were up to the task. The leader of the Mogul Embassy hit a double stomp on Hangman while the doctors were checking on his elbow. Prince Nana eventually ejected from ringside, but Swerve was able to use his crown as a weapon behind the ref's back, paved the way for him to hit the JML driver and score the biggest win of his AEW career. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. One of the fights of the night for sure. No doubt about it. So we move on to our next match. And Michael Bullock, you'll be starting off on this one. Absolute Ricky Starks squaring off against Blackpool Combat Club member Wheeler Yuta. Absolute Ricky Starks winning the match, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Michael Bullock just north of 10 minutes, but Absolute Ricky Starks, another win for him. He's been on a bit of a hot streak lately.
Yeah, he definitely has been on a hot streak lately. Yeah, so maybe bigger and better things are on the way for Absolute Ricky Starks. I'll give this about 3.25 stars on this one. I mean, another tremendous matchup here, and yeah, big win for Ricky Starks. So who knows what's next up for him? I mean, now having dealt with Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta, so who knows what's next up for him? So there's nothing more for me to say. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, 3.25 for this one as well. This bout had a completely different beginning and vibe from the previous clash, but they amped up the aggression until they were trading strikes like two prize fighters. Both men came into this contest with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. So this was about two young stars looking to find out who was the best. The story didn't need to be deeper than that, but having the connection to Bryan Danielson from his last feud helped make Ricky Starks into the villain. Big Bill showed up at ringside and distracted Wheeler Yuta momentarily so Starks could hit his tornado DDT. A few minutes later, he hit a spear followed by his finisher for the win. 3.25 stars. So not much really more for me to get into here, but nothing more. MF, Ricky Starks, the absolute Ricky Starks, knocking off Wheeler Yuta, 9:55. And like we said the other night, I told you Ricky Starks was going to win this match because he's been on a roll, and here you go. The roll continues.
And the thing is that if Ricky continues that role, it does open the door for him to possibly, maybe down the line, get a shot at the AEW World title. So he's just got to keep winning, keep doing what he's doing. And it could open the door for him to really have an impact here. So, no doubt about it. It was an amazing performance. It was a big win for him, and deservedly so. Great moment, great victory for him. So, I got really nothing more to add. This was like I said, a solid main event or a solid match. 3 stars is the rating, and definitely worthy of the moment. So, nothing more to say. Anthony, back to you.
Gentlemen, are you ready for the dream match? The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, squaring off against Zack Sabre Jr. Bryan Danielson winning the match. 22 minutes and 45 seconds. 4.5 stars. I mean, oh my goodness. One of the most anticipated matches on the card was this one. The crowd was chanting before they even touched each other, so you could tell everyone was expecting this to be an instant classic. The longer the match went, the more brutal their offense became. Neither man wanted to leave as the loser, so they started showing signs of desperation as each attempt to win failed. This was one of the best displays of technical ability you will see in a wrestling ring this year. If you only see one match from this show, it should be this one. It took 2 Bunsaiko knees, but Bryan Danielson was able to get the win to earn a hard-fought victory. What a match it was. Solid 4.5 stars. You can most certainly call Fight of the Night on this one. I would not be mad at you at all, even though we had some other good ones on this one. But in the immortal words of Climate Pledge Arena, home of the Seattle Kraken, this match was Kraken and then some. No doubt about it. 4.5 stars. Nothing more to say. MF, I know you love that physical smash mouth, a little bit of some hardcore element, but I know you've got a soft spot for the technical wrestling. Bullock and I, it's our wheelhouse, and Flair and Steamboat, raised the bar for it. But damn it to hell, Danielson and Sabre, did it live up to the hype? You damn right it did.
Oh, it lived up to the hype and then some. This was an incredible match. I mean, yeah, you could even say this was a 4.5. No doubt about it. Absolutely correct. Great call. Great decision. The match itself, it had practically everything. And it wasn't just the wrestling, it was the storytelling. It was the nuances of the match. And yeah, it did get to a point where there was a little bit of that panic, that scaredness that you were talking about, where they really pushed themselves into that area. Once they got into the muddy waters, or got into the deep water, as we like to call it, they just went at it, man. I mean, you can't go wrong with the match. The match was definitely you can make an argument for Fight of the Night. And if you really think about it, many people said the show really kicked off at this point. The final 3 matches, trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for what we got to say about it. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 4.5 stars. I mean, what a match this was. I mean, it definitely lived up to the hype. I mean, you knew there was no way Bryan Danielson was losing in his hometown. No way. But major props to both competitors. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. proved why he's definitely one of the best. But yeah, Bryan Danielson, the hometown boy, wins. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say except let's move on, Florio.
All right. 6-man tag team matchup. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Chris Jericho squaring off against the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. The Don Callis family winning the match in 22 minutes and 35 seconds. 10 seconds less than the previous match, but 22:35, time of the fall. Don Callis family wins the match. MF, I believe we had this one the other night.
We called it. We said it was going to be that outcome, and it goes 4.5 to 4.75 of a star. Not the 5-star level that I know like a few people would have given it the 5. I'm not going to do it. Look, the match was amazing. We knew it was going to be a great battle, but the thing was, the one thing we were barking about was momentum. The Don Callis family has it, and now they got it, and it's cemented. So big win for the Don Callis family. There's really nothing more to add. This was 4.5 to 4.75. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 4.5 stars. I mean, another solid match here. I mean, yeah, I mean, we knew this was going to be something good, and yeah, the Don Callis family wins this one, and they once again get one up on Jericho, Omega, and Kota Ibushi. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah, six. Excuse me. This match right here had the unenviable task of following a match of the year candidate, but everyone worked hard to ensure this felt completely different while still being fun in its own way. What was shot? This was pure mayhem, but it was the good kind of mayhem that made the crowd chant, "This is awesome." And that's really all there is to say on that. I'm going to bump it down a little bit. I didn't really like the finish. 4.25 stars. Still another one of the fights of the night for sure. Just that finish rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, to be honest with you. Next up, the battle for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The champions, FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, defending the titles against the Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis. And the winners of the match in 20 minutes and 25 seconds, and still the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR. Michael Bullock, you started off here, and well, FTR picks up the win. So you know what that means. FTR, Young Bucks, one more time, going to run it back.
Yeah, what can you say? I mean, this was another really good matchup. I mean, another 4.25, 4.5 star match. I mean, FTR continues their reign, and now we're going to run it back again with FTR and the Young Bucks again, and you know that's going to be something good there. So, but major props to Aussie Open for giving them one heck of a challenge. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Spot on once again, 4.25, 4.5. I 100% agree with the rating, Bullock. You nailed that one. This was as physical and competitive as you would expect from these teams, but the nice thing about it was that it was a much more straightforward wrestling match than the previous bout. The rules felt like they mattered, so both teams were obeying them a bit more instead of just doing whatever they wanted until they got closer to the end of the fight when all hell broke loose. The last handful of matches on this show all had to be different to stand out from each other, and everyone did a great job making sure that happened. After Aussie Open came close to winning a few times, FTR managed to hit the Shatter Machine on Kyle Fletcher to retain their titles. Another 4.25, 4.5 star match. Right team won here, even though I wouldn't have minded if Aussie Open won it, but you kind of had a feeling. I mean, the minute the Young Bucks won, you had a feeling that FTR was going to successfully defend, and sure enough, they did. And not much more to say. FTR successfully defends 20 minutes, 25 seconds. FTR Young Bucks Part 4. Let's go.
Yeah, that could be down the pipeline. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes in that one. And look, 4.25, 4.5, no doubt about it. Great match. Really nothing more to add. So, Anthony, I believe it's main event under Intercontinental rules for the AEW TNT title.
You got it right, Monsoon. You got that right, Monsoon. No doubt about it. As MF said, the main event of the evening, surprising main event of the evening. You would think on a show like this, I'll be honest with you, I kind of thought Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. were going to be the main event. But no. For some odd reason, I wonder why, they made this match the main event. Not that I had a problem with it or anything. Intercontinental rules, 2 out of 3 falls, TNT Championship on the line. The champion, Christian Cage, defending against Seattle's own Darby Allin. First fall, Darby Allin defeated Christian Cage via a pinning combination, 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Second fall went to Christian Cage via a countout. That was after about 10 or 11 minutes or so. 4:55, so that was about 10 and a half minutes, I guess, because that took the total time of the fall to 15 minutes and 25 seconds. And then after that, we had the third fall went an even 10 minutes. Total time of about 25 minutes and 25 seconds. The winner of the match, and still the TNT champion, Christian Cage, successfully defends the title. He had help, but not from who you thought. You were thinking he had help? Oh, probably Luchasaurus. Nope, it was not Luchasaurus. Nick Wayne turned his back on Darby Allin, hit him with the TNT Championship belt, and Christian Cage successfully defends the title. But wait, there was more. Sting comes out, to come to the aid of Darby Allin, but then the numbers game too much. Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne took it to Sting, and just as it looked like Christian was about to deliver a concerto to Sting, the lights go out. You see this feature presentation thing. Whoa, baby, what happened? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There's nothing left for me to say except Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar, Edge is all elite. The rumors were true. Edge has indeed signed with All Elite Wrestling, and he showed up. Monster pop from the fans in Seattle. And Christian gave him the chair, and we thought, no, he's not going to do this to Sting, is he? No, he did not. He attacked Nick Wayne. He attacked Luchasaurus. Christian got out of there, ran like a scalded dog, in the immortal words of Jim Ross, and then Edge shook hands with both Sting and Darby Allin after the match. Oh boy, where do I even start? The story they were telling in this bout was that Allin was desperate to not only beat Cage, but also do it in front of his hometown fans. Both men did great work playing their parts, but Christian was operating on another level and has been for some time. This might be the best run of his character in terms of his character work. Not only was the match exciting, but the story they also told was done about as well as it could have been done. Nick Wayne joining forces with Christian is going to be something that may or may not work, but for now it's a fun swerve. And then I don't know what else there is for me to say, except everything about this was fantastic. Even if you already believed Adam Copeland would show up, the way it was executed still made it enjoyable. I could give it 5, but the only reason I'm not is because of the finish there. Another 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star match. Another one of the fights of the night. You can make an argument for this to be the fight of the night as well. But as great as this match was, the debut of Edge in AEW far overshadowed it. That's all I'm going to say on that. But what a moment. What a pop. Whoa, boy. So there isn't anything left for me to say on this. MF, Christian Cage successfully defends the title. Total time, 25 minutes, 25 seconds. Nick Wayne turning his back on Darby Allin. But after the match was over, the rated R superstar is all elite business has just picked up. Whoa, baby.
It was a remarkable moment. Well, we heard the rumors. We heard that it was imminent. We were thinking, yeah, it's probably gonna happen, but when? It wasn't a matter of if, but when they decided to pull the trigger now. They said this was the moment, this was the time. Let them do it, and it was perfect. It was absolutely what it needed it to be. The match itself was a solid match, very good match. Everything else, I kind of was hoping that Darby gets the moment in his home turf, but this is one of the rare times where AEW does not give it to the hometown boy and actually does not, at the moment, did not let the fans go home happy. Nick Wayne betraying Darby was a little bit of an eye opener. It was a little bit of an eyebrow raise for me because I did not think they were gonna go down that route, but they did. I don't know how to feel about that though. I kind of felt bad that's the way that they did it. I don't know. I kind of felt I felt like whoa about it. But I will
And
say
doing
this.
it in front of his own mother.
Yeah. I mean, what I think the big question is what prompted it? What's in the mind of Nick Wayne? Why did he do what he did? Why did you betray? Was it like did Christians, manipulation finally work? And that's why? I don't know because he said, because like you said, Michael Bullock, we know for a fact he said some very not so nice things, not only about about Nick Wayne's dad, but also his perverted way about his mother too. And yet you turn your back on him to align yourself with him? I don't know. Something's not right up here in the head to do all that. I'm just saying.
It smells fishy and I don't like it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens, man. But good grief. What a matchup. It was a hellacious matchup. 4.25 to 4.5. And Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, 4.5 for me as well. I mean, yeah, the ending did take away from it a little bit, but like you said, the big shocker, Nick Wayne, well, one of the big shockers, I mean, Nick Wayne turning on Darby Allin, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. To me, and this is just my honest opinion, they never should have done this. I mean, if they were going to turn him heel, I think they could have waited this out because, like I just said, I mean, his mother was in the crowd. I mean, I understand you want to get heat on Nick Wayne for this new heel role, but not like this. I mean, whatever Christian said, it worked. And to quote something, Florio, I think Nick Wayne's family should disown him. I mean, after all the despicable, disgusting things that Christian Cage said about your family, Nick Wayne, and then you had to go and do this. Shame on you, you ungrateful bastard. Yeah. I call Christian the CLB. Well, I'm calling Nick Wayne CLB Jr. That's how I'm going to go with it. But yeah, that didn't last long after the match because the rated R superstar Adam Copeland is all elite. What a moment. And yeah, we've been hearing the rumors, and the rumors were true. So, and we thought that Adam Copeland was going to hit the steel air on Sting, but no, he didn't do it. He hit Nick Wayne with it, then went after Luchasaurus, and then hit some spears on them, and yeah, a great way to close out the show. 4 1/4, 4.5. So it's yours, Florio.
All right, MF. Overall thoughts of Wrestle Dream. MF, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
Oh.
Overall thoughts, Wrestle Dream.
8.5 to 9. I don't think there's really anything to say about it. This was an incredible show, to say the very least. I don't think you can go any more beyond that. So, Michael Bullock, go.
Yeah, 8.5 for me as well. I mean, yeah, what a really good AEW Wrestle Dream. I mean, this was definitely a show I definitely enjoyed. So, yeah, nothing more for me to say except quick thought, Florio, and then we'll get into Monday Night Raw.
Oh, just had to go in a little bit out there. All right. Was Wrestle Dream a perfect pay-per-view? No. It's hard to think of any event that would qualify as such. But this show is going to be remembered fondly by just about everyone who watches it because it gave you a bit of everything. Do you like technicians putting on classics? Bullock and I do. Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. over-delivered. Do you like intense rivalries and brutal physicality? MF. Christian Cage and Darby Allin had you covered. Do you like seeing two men in their prime put on a match of the year candidate? Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page did just that. Do you like surprises? Adam Copeland showing up might not have been a total shock to everyone, but it was certainly a well-executed debut. Do you like women's wrestling? Well, this show didn't have a lot of that, but the only women's bout on the card that did not also feature male performers showed Julia Hart and Chris Statlander at their best. The match of the night is going to vary wildly depending on your personal viewpoint. Some might pick MJF versus the Righteous because they love the comedy spots, while others might select the AEW tag title bout because it was a great example of what great tag team wrestling looks like. With so many things to choose from, it's much easier to focus on the positives and the negatives. This was a stellar event that is going to be remembered by fans for a long time to come. MF, you nailed the rating, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. So there isn't much more for me to add to it. So let's now get into Monday Night Raw. Just bear with me for a moment here. I got to pop a video here. So I just got to, yeah, got it. Apologize for that. So, all right, let's get into Monday Night Raw, which was from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, the Shark Tank, the home of the NHL San Jose Sharks. And just bear with me for a moment here as the setup comes in. All right, here we go. Fastlane is this Saturday, so quite a bit of tonight's show was devoted to hyping up the matches that WWE has booked for the card. One of the big segments on tonight's show was the contract signing between Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa ahead of their Intercontinental Championship match. We also saw Becky Lynch. Well, we were supposed to see Becky Lynch, fresh off a successful title defense in NXT No Mercy, put her NXT Women's title on the line against Tegan Nox. About that, we'll get into that. Let's take a look at everything that went down during the go-home episode of Raw before Fastlane. Opening segment. We were originally scheduled. All right. This show is live tonight. SAP Center, San Jose, California, the Shark Tank. And we started it off, well, with the same old stuff like we always do. But in a different way. What happened here, as the show started, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were brawling, and then Raquel Rodriguez comes out, and then after that, Mommy's home. The women's world champion Rhea Ripley finally makes her return after about 3 weeks or so. All hell breaks loose, and then Mommy takes a stick and she calls out the Judgment Day. You notice there was Damian Priest, and you notice the now former NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio. And you notice there was no Finn Balor. We were like, where was Finn Balor? But nonetheless, and then Jey Uso comes out, Cody Rhodes comes out, and then Adam Pearce made the announcement that at Fastlane, Damian Priest and Finn Balor will defend the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso. Well, okay. Opening the show with 2 brawls and a bunch of talking instead of having any matches for the first 25 minutes is definitely not usual, but it still felt like a lot of nothing. The tension building in the Judgment Day has been handled well, but now that Rhea is back, they can really kick the storyline into gear. By the time the segment was over, most people probably forgot that the show opened with a different set of people brawling. But also, one other thing, Rhea Ripley laid down the law to Dominic. She got Dominic, or she pulled her strings and got Dominic a rematch with Trick Williams for the North American Championship. And she said that if Dominic does not win, don't bother coming home. Okay, now. Okay. All right. Yeah, Bullock and I were scratching our heads on that one. We were like, what does that mean?
I exactly know what that meant. You don't need to tell me. Yeah. You're in the doghouse, literally. If you don't get this title, find some other place to be hanging. So he might be out of Judgment Day if he loses.
Well, we're gonna have to keep a very close eye on that rematch now, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't anything much really anything further for us to get into. We don't want to do any talking. We want to do some fighting. Let's get into some action. First match of the night, the Alpha Academy. Chad Gable and Otis squaring off against 2/3 of Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. Winners of the match, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, Imperium, go over here. We have seen all of these men fight each other in various combinations in tag and singles bouts for the last few months, so nothing we saw here was new, but that didn't mean it was bad. All 4 of these guys are known as being good workers, so everything they did looked good. It's just hard to be excited about a match we have seen in some form several times. The new wrinkle in the story this time is that Gunther told Kaiser he was responsible for Vinci now. So Kaiser was trying to make sure Vinci didn't do anything to get them in trouble. This is one of those matches that is only made less enjoyable by how repetitive it is. The action was great, and the crowd was reacting to everything. So the superstars in the ring did their job and did it well. 3 1/4. That's the highest I could give it. Teetering 3.5, but more so 3 1/4. So not much more to say here. MF Imperium defeating the Alpha Academy 10-40.
Yeah, solid match, good battle, good fight. I could say 3 stars. Enjoyable, nothing more to say. And I'll leave it with that. Michael Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, I'll give it about 3 1/4 as well. I mean, a solid way to start off the matches portion of Monday Night Raw. I mean, a nice win for for Vinci and Kaiser. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. So let's move on, Florio.
All right, Bullock. Next up. All right. We were supposed to have Becky Lynch successfully defend, or I should say Becky Lynch defending her NXT Women's Championship against Tegan Nox, but unfortunately, news came out today that Becky Lynch was uncleared to compete due to a laceration that she suffered in that Extreme Rules match with Tiffany Stratton as part of NXT No Mercy this past Saturday night. So the match is off, but only for a week, because it was announced that next week on Monday Night Raw, the man Becky Lynch will defend the NXT Women's Championship against Tegan Nox. So we'll get that match next week. A lot of backstage stuff, and of course we have some more cutouts here, guys. I'm sorry, but you guys will definitely have a say in a bit. Big Bronson Reed against Cedric Alexander. Big Bronson Reed, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We're not going to really, waste much time on that. It was really a showcase. That's all it was. It wasn't really a squash match by definition, but it was pretty close. So, I'll just leave it at that. Contract signing time, and Michael Bullock, aka JBL, we know what that means now, don't we?
It doesn't end well.
You damn right. And this one did not end well, but we did get a major payoff though. The contract signing for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa put pen to paper. Now, there was a dirt sheet that came out earlier today as well, saying that WWE had plans for a match that they were originally planning to do at Fastlane, but we're gonna do it instead tonight. And they said it was gonna be a championship match. Here it is. It was originally supposed to be at Fastlane, but Gunther says, I don't want to wait till Fastlane. I want to do it tonight. So, contract signing, Gunther, Tommaso Ciampa, announced as the main event for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. MF, Bullock, you guys want to give a quick thought on this?
When we heard about this big announcement, at first I was thinking maybe the tag team titles would be on the line. I actually thought it was going to be the undisputed tag team titles. But then when I heard Intercontinental, I was like, okay, let's see how this plays out. Oh my. We'll have a lot to say in just a matter of minutes. So
yeah.
Bullock, if you want to say something, go ahead. If you don't, then we'll just move on along.
Yeah, when I heard about this, I'm like thinking, well, something could go down in the main event tonight, but we'll find out when we preview it. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add on to it.
All right, very good. I'll give a quick thought. I mean, you wonder if they moved the match up a week earlier than planned due to all the lineup changes they had to make on tonight's show. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Next up, we had Ivar going one-on-one with Xavier Woods. And Xavier Woods wins the match in roughly 9 minutes. MF, does this go to you or does it go to Bullock?
It goes to me. Look, solid match. It was an okay match. I would give this about 2.5 to possibly 3. Like I said, it was solid for what it was worth. So really nothing more to say. So yeah, Michael Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, this was definitely a huge win for Xavier Woods. I mean, over Ivar, but in the end, him and Kofi Kingston were left laid out by Ivar. So, yeah, Xavier Woods may have won the match, but Ivar may have won the war. So, 3 stars is my rating on this one. So it's yours, Florio.
That's exactly what you said during our Raw chat tonight, Bullock. Absolutely. MF, you just heard that for the first time. Decent match, but the storyline feels incomplete without Eric. All of this feels like filler in this storyline until everyone is back. But I'll give it a solid 3 stars for the effort. I 100% agree. All right, next up, I believe we're back. We had Michael Cole. Michael Cole stood in the ring and he introduced the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. So he does his thing, and then he gets interrupted by Shinsuke Nakamura to hype up their last man standing match. And well, he appeared on the big screen and did that Japanese subtitle thing that he's been doing. So, but then Nakamura showed up. They went to and they battled. So nothing more to say except Michael Bullock. I mean, whoa, baby! What final hype for that last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Fastlane with Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh boy!
Yeah, it was definitely good final hype for their big last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura playing mind games and basically went to town on Seth freaking Rollins and his back. So yeah, I got a feeling that we're getting that booking 101 here, and yeah, I'm thinking Seth Rollins is gonna retain, but if Shinsuke Nakamura were to win, I would not be surprised. So, but you get more of the full preview of it when we preview Fastlane. I think it's Friday night, right?
Wednesday night.
Oh, Wednesday night. All right, I stand corrected. So, nothing more to say. It is yours, Florio.
Don't forget, Bullock. We now have college football Thursday and NFL Friday, so we don't have any other place to put it. So we got to do it Wednesday night, like we did last week for NXT No Mercy. But tough thing about those Saturday night pay-per-views. But anyways, cool angle. Unfortunately, Rollins was the only person in the building and watching home who didn't realize that Nakamura was going to attack him from behind. Live crowd spotted him, was making a lot of noise that Rollins had to ignore. Even so, this was a good final push for the last man standing match. So, MF, quick thought?
Like you said, solid promo, good thing. Yeah, really good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. There's really nothing more to add here. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to add, and it is what it is. So
Yep.
It's done. So yeah, Anthony,
Right.
back to you.
All right, we got another cutout here. Tegan Knox against Chelsea Green. Piper Niven in Chelsea Green's corner. Tegan Knox wins 2 minutes 5 seconds. Another one of the fights of the night here. Too short to be much of anything, but nothing they did looked bad. This will likely lead to Tegan and Natty teaming up to challenge for the women's tag titles, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Then we had Miz TV. Second week in a row, Drew McIntyre was the guest, and then he he basically explained himself, and then Miz really rubbed Drew the wrong way, and it led into another match. Drew McIntyre against the Miz. Drew McIntyre wins the match 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, okay. It was supposed to be a Miz TV segment, so the Miz showed up and started ranting about what McIntyre did to him last week. Of course, it turned into a fight that ended with the Scottish Warrior taking out the A-lister. McIntyre won, but he did it in a dirty way. He exposed the turnbuckle and slammed Miz into it before hitting the Future Shock DDT. Like most of the matches tonight, it wasn't much, but it wasn't terrible. It was just kind of there, to be honest with you. So, and it definitely felt like McIntyre is going to turn heel soon, but this segment definitely made him look like a babyface. So maybe those plans for a heel turn didn't pan out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. So not much more to say there. And then Jackie Redmond introduced Trick Williams as the NXT North American champion, and then Judgment Day interrupted, and we'll see what happens with that. And then Cody Rhodes comes out, and Cody said he heard Judgment Day intends to be at SmackDown Friday. Cody said that's great because he and Jey Uso will also be there. Cody said they'll win the tag titles at Fastlane, and it'll be a very different Raw once they return. We'll get into that. They ran down the card for Fastlane, and then next week Becky Lynch versus Tegan Knox for the Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. Kofi Kingston versus Ivar in a Viking Rules match. And Raquel Rodriguez goes one-on-one with Nia Jax. Main event of the evening, gentlemen. The battle for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Gunther, 479 days going in. Defending against Tommaso Ciampa. Winner of the match in an even 23 minutes. And still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. He does it. There's nothing left. There's nothing really much to say here, except excellent. This was an excellent match between two guys who are known for producing great performances. But as Kaiser and Vinci came out to deliver a beatdown, Johnny Gargano came out to make the save for his former DIY teammate. The show ended with DIY hitting their tag team finisher on Ludwig Kaiser. I'll tell you what, man. Ciampa came out of the gate strong. Ring General regained his composure, began dominating his smaller opponent. And even though Ciampa was giving up a lot of size, he never really felt like an underdog because he was so aggressive with his offense. It's one of the things that makes him fun to watch. But like I said, excellent match between two guys who are known for producing great performances. Remember, these two guys fought each other about 2.5 years ago, back at the Stand and Deliver in 2021. They battled for the UK Championship, Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa. So that match was good. This one may have even been better. 4.5 stars. Without a doubt, the fight of the night. Not even close. So blew all the other matches out the water. So blew us out of the water. We're not even here. That's how great it was. So there isn't much more to say. MF Gunther successfully defends again. He reigns supreme, even 23 minutes, 479 days and counting with a Ring General.
Dude, he's getting close to 500. He's getting there. He's just about another 23
weeks.
Another 20 days. Well, actually, I think it's now. Is it now 480 now?
It's now 20 because it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks from the second, so it would be on the October 23rd Raw if he's still champion coming to that.
So I mean, he's getting close to 500 days, man. I'm unreal this reign, but he's still doing it, man. He's kicking it. And look, this time around, you gotta give credit to Tommaso Ciampa because Ciampa did something in this fight that not many people has ever done to Gunther. He took his biggest weapon away from him. That devastating chop. He went after the hand. He went after the arm. That was absolutely brilliant move. A smart move by Tommaso Ciampa because it neutralized Gunther in that match. Yes, Gunther had to find another way to win the match, and he did. But when you don't have that primary weapon, that devastating chop that he normally does, and let me tell you, that chop, the best chop in wrestling today. I'm not talking hyperbole. Just you see the welt the minute the first chop came in. Did you see the chest on Tommaso Ciampa? Oh my God. That's all I can say. So nothing more to say. 4.5, fight of the night. Bullet, go.
Yeah, 4.5 stars, fight of the night. What can you say? I mean, yeah, that was smart of Ciampa to basically take away one of the big weapons for Gunther with the vicious chop, but he really pushed him. But in the end, the champ still finds a way to win, and yeah, then Kaiser and Vinci go to beat up Ciampa, and it's good to see Johnny wrestling back, and it looks like, guys, they may be teasing a DIY reunion. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, nothing more to say. I think it's overall review time, Florio.
Yes, it is.
You are correct, and good old MF Michael Fletcher starts it off.
I will. Quick thought on the DIY thing before I do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if given the opportunity, these guys would be perfect to become the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
Amen.
I would love to see it. They did it in NXT. I would love to see these two guys get the belts, the belts here in WWE. And I think a lot of people would definitely be all for that as well.
Absolutely.
Overall review, not the best Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry, Anthony.
Agreed.
I'm not gonna be harsh because the show was literally saved by the Intercontinental title fight. That show could have been a dumpster fire if it wasn't for that. I'll give it 6 out of 10. It was a passable event, but mainly because the IC title fight, the Intercontinental title match, the main event, and it is great that they made that the main event because if it wasn't for that, this would have been a dumpster fire. So it was the show was literally saved by the IC title fight. 6 out of 10. Bullet, go.
I agree. 6 out of 10. I mean, not the best Raw, but yeah, this show was literally saved by that main event. If not, I would have given it a much lower rating than that. But 6 out of 10 for me. Florio, it's yours.
Tonight's show only had a couple of matches that are worth the time to watch if you didn't see the show live. But the non-wrestling segments did a decent job building up the Fastlane card. Gunther versus Ciampa, easily the fight of the night. But Alpha Academy versus Imperium was a solid entry as well. Imperium had a good night tonight, especially since Gunther retained the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. The segment with Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth Rollins definitely stood out above the rest due to Nakamura timing everything perfectly. As a whole, tonight's show was down the middle, but that tends to be how a lot of go-home shows are before a pay-per-view. 6.5 for me. So with that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you Wednesday night. MF, I'm sure are we back to the normal start times for our shows this week?
We are actually coming back at 10 p.m. on Wednesday night. And then, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all 10:30s.
Okay, very
But
good.
I will say this.
Yes.
In the very near future, starting in a couple of weeks, in October, we will be doing the shows a little more earlier. I'll let you guys I'll clue you guys in after the show is over. So there will be some time adjustments coming up for our shows.
Okay. Oh, look forward to hearing that, MF. Okay. All right. So let me set the table as quickly as I can here. Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Immediately following AEW Dynamite, hop on over to good old MF Michael Fletcher's channel, BraceFan95. We got Wednesday Night Madness. We got NXT, the fallout from No Mercy. We got AEW Dynamite, the fallout from Wrestle Dream, which will include the first words from Edge, by the way. So, and on top of that, we will also be previewing Thursday Night Football. We don't have much of a matchup here, guys. We got a stinker.
Oh yeah,
Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
I feel so sorry for Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and especially for Kaylee Hartung.
Yes.
That's a rough game to have. The NFL schedule makers did not do them any service with this one.
Yeah, a hoofa of the game, no question about it. But we'll get into it though, and because we have a pay-per-view Saturday night and we don't have any other place to put it, we'll have a brief preview of WWE Fastlane on Wednesday night. Thursday night, 10:30. Back here on the Tone 25, we have the Week 6 edition. Yowza, did I just say Week 6? Wow, this thing is blazing fast, guys. TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, Week 6 edition. Red River Rivalry. Do I have to say anything else? That's the game of the week. But we got 2 other games of the week. How about Kentucky against Georgia? And how about Notre Dame against Louisville? Those are the 3 big ones come Saturday night that we'll preview on Thursday night, rather. Friday night, we have the Week 5 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. We'll give a brief recap about the Bears and the Commanders. Bye week start, game of the week, and big announcement, Tony, here, per MF. MF, we're cross-flexing it again. How could we not? Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers? I don't know what else there is to say there. Jacksonville and Buffalo in London. AFC North Division implications. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. First place in the division to the winner. So we'll get into all that on Friday night. And then Saturday night at 10:30, we have Friday night. We have Cerebral Smack Talk with MF, as we will have Friday Night SmackDown. We will also have AEW Collision, and keywords, time permitting, maybe not. We don't know. Possibly a preview, a recap of WWE Fastlane.
Yes.
So we'll keep an eye on it. If time's permitting, we'll get into it. If not, then maybe we'll do it next Monday night here on Ridiculously Raw, maybe. So that's the backup plan. So that's it. So until Wednesday night Madness over on MF's channel, Brace 395. Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, of course, always and forever, the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days, and until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one. For now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.